What's up, everybody, and thank you for listening to Mastering the Mindset. My name is Dariusdotch, and I'm an actor, hip-hop artist, and fitness and life coach. And I'm here to personally help you train and improve your mindset so that you can, 1, become the best version of yourself mentally, and 2, gain focus and motivation to be able to take action and achieve the success in life that you want and deserve. Before we get started, please like and subscribe to my channel, and at the end of this episode, if you liked it, please share it with a friend or a loved one or someone who would benefit from hearing this message. I'm so glad you're here, and I'm ready to go on this journey with you, and that journey begins now. Hey, and welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to be talking about other people's opinions and other people's advice and how to stop caring about other people's opinions, and also how to decipher whose opinion to actually take, whose opinions matter and whose opinions don't matter. And I'm not talking about anybody specifically in my own life, but we all know these people. Let's say it's your mama, and she's a great parent, and you love her, and you decided to start a business, and she wants to give you advice. And while you love her, she's never run a business. And every time you decide to do it, she tells you why it's a bad idea, how it's a recession, how it's bad timing, how something is coming up, and you shouldn't do it because of this or because of that. Maybe you should go back to school because of this. And she could be one of the main reasons why you never start that business. And I know you know where I'm going with this already, but I wanted to paint that quick little picture for you first, an easy picture to paint. So let's start off by talking about how to decipher whose advice you actually want to take. And when we look at advice and opinions, we have to ask ourselves, why do we care so much? Why do we care about other people's opinions? It can be somebody online and all you see is that little profile picture, and we would care about a comment they leave about us or something they say to us. And an interesting theory I came across, which I talked about on here before, is that it comes from thousands and thousands of years ago when we all lived in the wilderness in tribes, and being tribal beings, our behaviors mattered around each other. We had to fit in order to survive. And if you were too different, then you would get kicked out of the tribe, and that would mean death. That would mean you would have to be by yourself, and you wouldn't survive, of course. So it was like a survival mechanism. Back then, it mattered. Fast forward to today, the way folks think and their opinions, for the most part, it don't have any physical effect on us, but to our brains, it carries weight. Now, back then, it was a big deal, but today, if Virgil from accounting don't like you, it don't matter. Who cares? But if I don't know why I came up with the name Virgil. Anyway, but if you think about it deep down, when we hesitate to step outside our comfort zone, when we feel disappointed, when we feel the disappointment of not getting a lot of likes on our social media posts, and we feel like we don't look as good as other folks on social media, or we're afraid to post that one thing, or we hesitate to go live on Facebook because we don't want to look silly. When we feel all this, it's because down to our core, we just want to fit in. We want to be liked. And there's a famous quote from Jim Carrey that I love. And he says, "Your need for acceptance will make you invisible in this world." Your need for acceptance will make you invisible in this world. And if you think about that for a second, I love it. It's brilliant. We make ourselves invisible in this world by trying to fit in. And if we take a step back and think about it, if we look at all those people we truly admire, all the great ones like Oprah or Will Smith or Michael Jackson or Prince, The Rock, Elon Musk, the big all-time great ones, you know, those folks that you would say inspire you to be better. Even the ones who ain't necessarily at that level of success, the ones that inspire you, right? Ask yourself this question. Did they fit in with everybody else? Did they fit in? The answer is no. There's something about them, probably a bunch of things, that make them stand out from the rest of society. For the most part, they are the outliers. So if you look at that person and they inspire you, and maybe you want to be more like them, the last thing you should want to do is fit in. And I'm not saying that there's something wrong with the rest of society, but I don't want to be like everybody else. That's being content. That's striving for somebody else's life. That's striving to be like any and everybody else. And I don't want that. And if we look around, we can see, if we really get honest about it, so many people are stuck. They're stuck and they don't even know they're stuck. We've been raised to fit in, to get married at a certain age, to buy a house at a certain age, to date this kind of person, to go to school for that, to have this number of kids, to have that kind of job, to do this with your life, to dress like that, to eat that kind of food, to fit in. And I'm not trying to tell you this just to do everything different for the sake of just doing it all different, but I'm trying to paint to you a picture of why we're accustomed to giving other folks' opinions about us weight. A big part of that is because we feel the need to fit in. But the people we look up to, they don't fit in. They're not the same. Another common thing about the people you look up to, a certain percentage of people hate them for one reason or another. Like when you look at it, and I'm going to use sports as a reference, but look at LeBron James and Michael Jordan. And if you know who they are, they get debated about daily, literally daily. Somebody somewhere every single day that the sun comes up is having a debate about those two athletes. And because of it, they always throw shade at one or the other. They hate on the other person. They talk trash about them, about the greatest players of all time. Why is that? Here these dudes are the greatest and people tear them down. It's because of their greatness. People see them being great, and that's easy to attack, to poke holes in, to have this subconscious desire to think negatively about somebody who's accomplished a lot. All the greats have quote unquote haters, especially nowadays with social media and everybody's personal life being so accessible, right? Bottom line is we fear a lack of acceptance. What's up, what's up, what's up? I want to take a quick moment to say thank you so much for listening to this episode and to also let you know that this podcast is 100% donation driven, which means it's completely funded by you, the listener. So if you like the content I have to offer, I would love it if you can make a donation and you get to pick the amount. I left links in the description of the video as well as my homepage. You can choose which way benefits you the best to donate. And if you need more options, please feel free to email me at dariusdotch@gmail.com. That's dariusdotch@gmail.com. Again, thank you so much for being here, and let's get back to it. We do. We fear a lack of acceptance. If you go and do anything great in this world, you better believe you're going to have those folks that hate on you. They're going to disagree with what you do, how you do it, when you do it, how much you do it, what you stand for, the fact that it's you that's doing it. They're going to resist your greatness in some way, no matter how much good you may be doing. And especially if you're trying to do good. And it may not even be many haters, people who don't agree with what you're doing. For every 1,000 people that might be in a line with what you got going on and think what you're doing is great, there's going to be that one person that doesn't. And we let that 1 out of 1,000 people hold us back. We're afraid of the opinion of that one person. If you do anything out of the ordinary, you're going to have those folks that are going to bring negativity and question what you're doing. And the thing is, it really ain't even about you. It's not. It's about them. They're projecting their insecurities and doubts about themselves and how deep down they don't think they can do it. So they don't want you to do it either. Really, it's their own lack of satisfaction with their own life, and they project that on you. And so if you have a hater or haters, they don't hate you. They ain't unsatisfied with you. They're not satisfied with themselves within. You stepping into your true self is reflecting on them that they ain't stepping into their own true self. So they're going to bring you down. And why I feel the need to be accepted by that, right? We got to just turn a blind eye and say, you know what? This thing I'm doing is important to me. I'm going to follow this path I'm on. My path, is not theirs. I'm going to continue to pursue my potential no matter what anybody else says or thinks. We have to decipher whose opinions matter and whose opinions don't matter. And I want you to think about this. Maybe write it down if you need to. But I want you to think about a list of people whose opinions truly matter to you. Who are they? Think about that for a second. And I'm willing to bet that list is a short list. We can care about the opinions of so many people, but when we make that list of folks whose opinions truly matter to us, that's a small ass list. A small list of the folks who are true to you and true to who they are, who have real love for you, who you trust. Those folks online, they don't care about you the way that those folks on that list care about you. So whose advice do you really take? And also, what advice do you want or need to hear from them? So sometimes you have to say to yourself, like, okay, my best and closest friends are on this list. Okay. But right now, I'm looking for advice on how to start my own clothing brand. Okay. Well, they've never done that. So it's okay if I don't take their advice on that because they haven't done it. And ain't nothing wrong with that. And maybe I shouldn't have used the best friend example because that one's a little bit tricky, a little harder. But my point is, so many people love to overstep their boundaries and tell you advice when they ain't even qualified to give it. So many people want to do things like start a business or change a career, and they let unqualified people tell them why they should and shouldn't do it. And it holds them back from pursuing the life they truly want. Why take advice from them? Now, let's say that best friend or your mama, let's go with mom, if they want to give you advice about how to be a better person, how to be more loving, how to be a parent, advice on how to potty train your baby, purchasing your first home, yeah. If these are all things she's done or lived, then she's a great person to get that advice from. But if she wants to give you business advice and she's never started a business, then it's okay to not take that advice. If somebody says something negative to you and they ain't on that list of people who you would take advice from, then don't give it your time. You can care about other people's opinions, but we need to make sure that it's only a select few. And what kind of advice do you take? Sometimes when somebody offers up their 2 cents, it's really all it's worth. I mean, sorry, right? I mean, don't take advice from the person who ain't qualified. Don't take investing advice from your broke friend. Don't take relationship advice from somebody who has a relationship you wouldn't even want. Don't take career advice from somebody who ain't happy with theirs. Don't take advice from somebody telling you what car to buy if they driving a hoopty. You get the point? Why would you take advice on how to find your partner from a woman who can't keep a man, or a man who's always single because he can't find nobody? I hope you're not doing that. Be careful who you take advice from and the kind of advice you take. And the question you should ask yourself is this: would you trade places with them in what they're giving you advice on, or are they qualified? Have they done it? Are they doing it? Do they know how it's done? If their name ain't on that short list, if they ain't qualified to really give you the advice they have to offer, then feel free to let that 2 cents be worth 2 cents. So that's what I got for you today. If you like this episode, please share it with somebody that can benefit from this, somebody who is a friend or a family member, somebody who has goals and is trying to improve their lives. So thank you again, and let's get it in.